took care of business. There was an urgency in the building. Yep, that guy right there. We'll talk about him first. 31, 12, and 9. LeBron finished with 21. Julius Randle, 27.6 assists, and Anthony Edwards had 25. But we will start with Luka. First Laker since Magic Johnson to post a 31, 12, and 9 stat line in the playoffs. Third Laker, which is pretty good, to record 30 or more points in the first 2 playoff games. I know after the first game, there's some question marks over there. He said, was Nico wrong? Because we're going to talk about that for the rest of our lives. But how about game 2? What'd you see from Luka?
Man, Luka magic. I mean, he came out and did what we're used to seeing him do, a dominating performance. Obviously a better showing in game 1. He was able to get his teammates involved with 9 assists compared to 1 assist in game 1. So, you know, when he's playing that type of basketball, the Lakers are going to be a tough team to beat. On top of that, LeBron comes back with a double-double, 7 assists as well. Just a great showing all around. Obviously, your 2 best players, they performed at a high level. When you get those type of nights, you know, it's pretty much a W in the column. So, to answer that question about was Nico wrong? Obviously, Nico was wrong. I think that was obvious, but you know, when you think about it from a defensive standpoint, that's always going to be, you know, a glaring point in this argument. And to Luka's defense, I think he had a pretty decent, you know, showing on the defensive end last night. He was aggressive. He played with urgency. He was asserting himself in every play, even with the help side action. You know, he was there. He was plugging the gap. So those are the type of things you want to see from your superstar. And I think LeBron was one of the guys that set the tone early and also gave Vincent set the tone defensively for the Lakers. So great showing all around.
Yeah, I think what makes Luka so unique is just he can obviously score any night he wants. He just showed you. He had 37 points night 1, 31, and this is against a great defense with a lot of different looks that they're throwing at him. They're throwing bigs, smalls, you know, being physical with him, playing off him, blitzing him. He's seen every coverage already in just 2 games, and he's still scoring at will. So I think it's his decision making. It's him not turning the ball over. It's him making the right play because he gets downhill. You can't speed him up, and he's in the paint. So now it's when does he find the shooter? Does he be aggressive and shoot the little floater? Does he find a Jackson Hayes or a Rui at the rim for a lob threat? He's got so many options because he's so talented offensively, where I think that's honestly why he gets in trouble sometimes because he has so many options and he's so good. But it just depends what you need from him that night. Again, he can score on anybody. There's no defense that can stop him, but I think what makes him best is when he is that facilitating, passing guy and then takes what the defense gives him offensively and goes and has 30 and 10 and 8 and an all-around balanced game. And like Boogie said, last night, at least the effort was there defensively. Like, dude was flying around. He was cutting off baseline. He was into it. He tried to take a charge on one play and was animated with, you know, I haven't seen that version of him in a while. So to have the whole versatile, balanced game from him, including the defensive end, is when I think the Lakers are obviously at best.
Can we talk about the fact that he and LeBron with the double-doubles, because we know game 1, we talked about it a lot, what needed to change, what didn't. Luka had the 1 assist in that first game. He had 9 last night. I also love that at the podium he said, is 9 assists good enough for you? To the reporters. But in all seriousness, for Luka and the team to do as best as they can, how important is it that everyone else is a part of this?
I mean, it's everything because you're looking at a team that you don't have any guys besides Austin Reeves that can create shots and opportunities for themselves. They gotta eat off of what these guys create in Luka and LeBron. If Luka has 1 assist, you got the majority of your roster standing there watching you play basketball on offense, waiting for you to create an opportunity for them, waiting for you to get them the basketball where they can make open shots. Like, none of those guys, besides Austin Reeves, is going to put the ball on the floor, make plays for themselves and the other guys around. So for them to have 9 and 7 assists, respectively, that makes this team go. That's a big part of their motor when it comes to how this team is built and how they're constructed.
And you know what? When I saw the over/under in this game, it was 205 points. Remember? And I was like, wow, that seems super low. And this was another crazy low-scoring game, which just shows you that defense is still a huge part of the game. You can still win games getting stops on the other end. And these teams are so. Think about it. We're talking Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Luka, and these are the final scores. So now this is what we're talking about with playoff basketball, where it matters more. Each possession is slower. It gets bogged down. There's more half-court sets. There's less transition. And now, again, that little 2-month stint that the Lakers had when they were playing really good defense, that showed last night that they're capable. They need to do this again now on the road. Even if shots aren't falling, they're still capable of winning games if they can hold them under 100 points.
I think it's like quality versus quantity in the playoffs. Like, it just feels, each time feels more important to me. We know about the Game 1 celebration. Ant had some things to do. But before last night's game, he walked over to Lakers warm-ups and had a little moment with Luka. I'm actually disappointed it was friendly, to be honest with you. I kind of was hoping this wouldn't be friendly, but I do love, Chandler, that this is a fun rivalry.
Yeah, we know exactly what happened here. There's always a thing before the game where there's not enough balls on our side and their side. So he looked down, he saw like they had like 8 balls, they had 2. So this is just friendly. This is just friendly, him going down there. I do love him animated. I do love him. I love him picking up Luka 94 feet and kind of, you know, checking him and talking trash. I think that's what makes him special. I think that's what makes this matchup, you know, so much fun to watch. But there was nothing here. This was
I wanted it to be,
all in good fun.
I wanted it to be.
Some of the stuff that we make stories not even supposed to be on camera.
I know. Well, I think Taylor Rooks had a good angle of that whole thing. It was like, it was cute and it was fun, but I kind of wanted it to be mean. Lou, I'm going to start with you on this one. So Ant's averaging 24 and he's shooting just under 41%. So the fact that they're going home tied in this series, how confident are you when you're Minnesota?
They should be confident. I mean, didn't play their best basketball. Game 2 was one of those games where they got in trouble with some fouls and some foul trouble, and it kind of messed up their rotations and their lineups. And you have a grinded out game. Like, when you look at the identity of this team, we talk about their physicality, their toughness. Those are the teams that usually win grinded out games. And so if I'm them, we didn't play our best night last night, and we already got one. You can kind of take your foot off the gas sometimes when you steal Game 1. You don't have that same urgency in Game 2 as you did. So going back home 1-1, having an opportunity to be on your home floor and all of those things, you got to feel confidently about how you're playing and the way that you're going about this series if you're Ant-Man and you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially with the next 2 in your building.
Yeah, getting 1 for sure is awesome. Like, now
thing.
you're going back to your building, you do the same thing or try and sneak 2 out of there, you're in great shape. So I think this is a huge win. It is a little dicey on both sides. Like, Luka, he was 2 for 8 again from 3 last night. If he starts shooting 40-50% from 3, I think they're going to be in trouble. But he hasn't really found his rhythm, his 3-point percentage since he's been a Laker. But this series is going to go back and forth. This is one of the best ones besides, Pistons, Knicks, Clippers, Nuggets. Sure. This one is right there. I think this is good. There's another one that could go the distance.
Couldn't agree, more or less. This series can go either way. Obviously, when you're Minnesota and you're able to steal a game at home, that's great for you. This next game is super important. It can also determine which way this series goes. So if they're able to steal another one at home, I mean, the momentum's in their favor. So I think Minnesota's in a great spot. But this next game is big for both teams.
I think in the playoffs, especially this first round, it feels like the differences that coaches will make or tweak from games 1 to 2 are always a little bit interesting, maybe sometimes questionable. But the fact that Rudy Gobert was hunted, I like saying he was hunted last night. Go ahead, Chandler, what were you going to say?
You know what's interesting about Naz Reid picks up his 4th